This lesson we're going to be learning about oxidation and reduction reaction, also called redox reaction. We're going to study oxidation, but you must have known oxidation as gain of oxygen or loss of hydrogen, and reduction as loss of oxygen or gain of hydrogen. But in this lesson, we'll be studying oxidation and reduction reaction under the concept of electron transfer. But if this is the first time on this channel, please click on the subscribe button, like, comment, and share. Let's continue. Now, let's understand the concept of oxidation and reduction. We're going to use a simple mnemonic called OI-REG. OI stands for oxidation is loss of electron, while REG stands for reduction is gain of electron. I repeat, OI stands for oxidation is loss of electron, REG stands for reduction is what? Gain of electron. Now, when you have potassium ion and chlorine ion, potassium will donate electron or will lose electron, and chlorine will gain the electron. By the loss of one electron, potassium will become positively charged, while chlorine become negatively charged. So the loss of electron, potassium become oxidized, while chlorine gains an electron and becomes reduced, and they form potassium chloride. Let's look at another example. If sodium reacts with hydrogen, sodium will lose an electron, while hydrogen will gain an electron. Sodium will become positively charged by becoming 1+, while hydrogen will become negatively charged and becomes -1. Sodium has lost an electron, so it is oxidized. Hydrogen has gained an electron, so it is reduced. Let's look at another example. If calcium reacts with chlorine, calcium will lose 2 electrons. And because a chlorine atom can only accept 1 electron, 2 chlorine atoms will pair up to accommodate the 2 electrons. So each chlorine atom will take 1 of the electrons contributed by calcium. So calcium will become positively charged and become +2, while each of the chlorine atom will become negatively charged and become -1 each. Calcium has lost 2 electrons, so it is oxidized, while each chlorine atom has gained an electron, so they are reduced, and they will end up forming calcium chloride as a compound. So on the whole, potassium, sodium, and calcium have lost electron and they are oxidized, while chlorine and hydrogen has gained electron and they are what? Reduced. Hold it at the back of your mind as a mnemonic. OI-REG. OI is oxidation is loss of electron, while REG stands for reduction is what? Gain of electron. You must know this. REG is what? Reduction is what? Gain of electron. Why OI? Okay, let's look at easy trick for understanding oxidation and reduction. Now, when calcium goes into reaction, it forms an ion +2 by losing what? 2 electrons. Calcium will go into reaction by losing 2 electrons and become what? Calcium 2+, that is positively charged, 2+. Chlorine in reaction, we gain an electron to become negatively charged, that is -1, by what? Gaining 1 electron. So generally, metals loses electrons, while non-metals those what? Gain electrons because of the electronegativity. Metal lose because of electropositivity. Now, the oxidation state of calcium has changed from 0 to +2, while that of chlorine has changed from 0 to -1. This change from 0 to +2 is called change in oxidation state. Equally, change from 0 to -1 is also referred to as what? Change in oxidation state. We have a simple mnemonic that will help us remember. We have INO and DO. INO means increasing oxidation number is oxidation, while DO means decreasing oxidation number is reduction. Increasing oxidation number is oxidation, decreasing oxidation number is what? Reduction. So from 0 to 2 is increase, that is oxidation, while from 0 to -1 is reduction. If it's the first time on the channel, before we proceed, hit the subscribe button, and if you're on Facebook or TikTok, hit the follow button so that we can continue. This is School of Chemistry. Let's continue. Now note, before we proceed, you have to know this. INO means increasing oxidation number is oxidation. DO means decreasing oxidation number is what? Reduction. Let's look at certain rules in calculating the oxidation number of elements. Now, elements in their free state have an oxidation number of 0, such as sodium, chlorine in their free state have an oxidation number of 0. Oxidation number of ions is the same as the charge of the ion. So sodium plus has oxidation state of +1, chlorine minus oxidation number of -1, and oxygen 2 minus oxidation state of -2. Sum of oxidation number of elements in a compound is 0. For example, CaCO3. Oxidation state of Ca plus that of C plus 3 oxygen atom will be equals to 0. So we have +2 being oxidation state of calcium plus carbon plus 3 into -2, which is the oxidation state of oxygen, equals to 0. So +2 plus C minus 6 will be equals to 0. So +2 plus C minus 6 will be equals to 0. Collect like terms, I have C minus 4 will be equals to 0. And the oxidation state of carbon will be equals to +4. And that is how to calculate oxidation number of element with variable oxidation state. For example, we have the reaction S plus O2 give you SO2. In free state, the oxidation state of S is 0. That of oxygen is what? 0. Now, to get that of sulfur in O2, we say S plus 2 atoms of oxygen is equals to 0. Oxidation state of oxygen is -2. That means S plus 2 into -2 is equals to 0. And S will be equals to 4. So the oxidation state of sulfur is +4, while that of oxygen is -2. So sulfur has a change of oxidation from 0 to +4, which is increase. That is what? Oxidation. Now, oxygen has a change of oxidation from 0 to -2, which is a decrease in oxidation number. That is what? Reduction. So these two are referred to as what? Redox reaction. That is what? A complementary reaction, reduction and oxidation reaction. Let's look at H2 reacting with F2 to form 2HF. In free state, the oxidation number of H is 0, that of F is 0. While in combined state, we have that of hydrogen is +1, that of F is -1. So from 0 to +1 is increase, that is oxidation, while from 0 to -1 is decrease, that is reduction, and this too is a redox reaction. Let's look at N2 plus H2 to form NH3. In free state, nitrogen has oxidation state of 0 and hydrogen oxidation state of 0. So to get the oxidation state of nitrogen NH3, we say N plus 3 hydrogen equals to 0. Hydrogen has oxidation state of +1. So N plus 3 into 1 will be equals to 0. So N plus 3 will be equals to 0, and N will be equals to -3. So the oxidation state of nitrogen is -3, while that of oxygen is +3. So we say from 0 to -3 is reduction, while from 0 to +2 is increase, and that is what? Oxidation. Now, let's look at this. When water decomposes, these decomposition reactions, to form H2 and O2. H2 and O2 are in their free state, so we have oxidation state of H is 0 and that of O is 0. And for hydrogen, we know that 2H plus O will be equals to 0. 2 into -2, which is the oxidation state of oxygen, will be equals to 0. 2 minus 2 will be equals to 0. So oxygen is -2 and hydrogen is +1. So from +1 for hydrogen to 0 is decrease in oxidation number, and that is reduction. From -2 to 0 in oxygen is increase in oxidation number, and that is what? Oxidation. Let's look at that for calcium carbonate forming CaO plus what? CO2. We have to calculate the oxidation number for each of the elements in their variable states. For CO2, we have C plus 2O is equals to 0. The oxidation state of oxygen is -2. So C plus 2 into -2 is equals to 0. So C will be equals to -4. So the oxidation state of carbon in CO2 is +4. And that of oxygen is -2. Let's look at CaO. In CaO, Ca plus O will be equals to 0. It implies that C minus 2, because the density of oxygen is minus 2, is equals to 0. So Ca will be equals to what? 2. If you take 2 to the other side. So it implies that the oxidation state of calcium in CaO is plus 2 and that of oxygen is minus 2. In calcium carbonate, it implies that Ca plus C plus 3O is equals to 0. Oxidation state of calcium is 2. That of oxygen is minus 2. That means 2 plus C plus 3 into minus 2 is equals to 0. Open bracket, 2 plus C minus 6 is equals to 0. Collect like term. C plus 2 minus 6 will be equals to 0. C minus 4 will be equals to 0. And C will be equals to plus 4. That means that in calcium carbonate, calcium has an oxidation state of oxygen has an oxidation of minus 2, carbon plus 4, and calcium plus 2. Let's look at the change in oxidation state. Calcium has plus 2 changing to plus 2. That means there is no change in oxidation state. Carbon from plus 4 to plus 1, no change in oxidation state. Oxygen from minus 2 to minus 2, there is no change in oxidation. Therefore, this is not a redox reaction. You understand? Because there is no change in oxidation number. Now, if it's your first time on this channel, School of Chemistry, please click on the subscribe button. Subscribe, like, share, and comment. Thank you and welcome for more detailed videos.